So, hello everybody. Today is Mabon, the autumn equinox, and in perfect fashion, in perfect timing, I finally received my herb drying rack. Now, as many of you know, that I do make my own, I grow a lot of my own herbs and magical ingredients. So I have been, up until this point right now, I've been using homemade herb drying racks that look like this. They are just old picture frames with some type of mesh material. I have used old window screens. I have used the mesh part of the inside of a dress. I have used many different things to make these herb drying racks, and over time they do wear out. The mesh, depending on the type of mesh, so like a window, like a screen for a window, that type of mesh, over time your herbs will pull it downwards and it will develop bigger holes. And let me show you the perfect example of that. Would be this rack right here that I have. This is the oldest one that I have, and as you can see, this one was made from an old window screen, and it is just over time deteriorated and essentially become useless. And so I was looking on Amazon, my favorite place ever for solutions, and I came across this. It is an herb drying bag. So I have not opened it yet, so I'm going to open it here. And we're going to test this thing out and see if it's any good. Now this was $20 on Amazon. Comes with a pair of snips, which these ones seem really cheap, but it's always nice to have a new pair of those. So this is what it looks like. Take these things off. Woo! That thing just, that's almost like a safety hazard right there, how quick that thing opened. But this is what it looks like. So it's got these little zippers right here that you can open and place your herbs in. It's got 4 compartments, and it's got a Velcro thing where you can put it, hang it up. So let's take it back here, and we're gonna hang it up, because it's the only place that I have room for it right now. So we're gonna hang it up. Oh, I almost tripped. Okay. Sorry about the bad lighting, guys. So I've got this right here. You can see this big, huge stick that I've just got suspended from the ceiling. Don't ask me why it's there. I enjoy it. And it's got a twirly bit, so that's always even more enjoyable. So I'm gonna hang it from here, because this room is out of the sunlight, because when you're drying herbs, you do not want sunlight. Sunlight is your enemy with herbs, because it can heat them up and it will evaporate all of the essential oils in your herbs. Now I've got it backwards, so let's turn it so we can actually, and today, you know, being the autumn equinox, I usually wait for this day to completely cut down my herbs. So let's go move to the garden and do that portion. I just want to show you guys it from this direction. Let's close this right here. That's better. So this right here is a south-facing window. It gets no direct sunlight at all. Sun does not come into this window. It does come in through that window, but we're going to keep that closed. So it's not that big. It doesn't take up a lot of space. But I guess if you don't have some random stick hanging off from your ceiling, it's going to be so tricky to place it or hang it. So let's go to the garden and let's test out the hold on. We will also test out the snips that they sent with the storage or the herb rack to see if they're any good. So they've got the lock, and they're just, you know, they do feel a little cheap, but for 20 bucks, I mean, unless you're cutting down like a huge, like, woody stemmed plant, I think these will work just fine. So I think my basket is out here. Oh, it's a beautiful day, you guys. Beautiful fall day. So let me turn the camera around. Okay, so you can see things are looking tired. The zinnias are looking tired. The jelly's looking tired. Yeah, just everything's kind of looking just, you know, tired. And so we're going to clip a lot of the stuff and we're going to dry it out. So let's grab this greenhouse, you guys. Stays so warm. Okay, we're going to grab the basket. I tried looking for a really nice decorative basket from the flea market, but I was not successful. So I want to try to save, because I've never attempted to save regular basil before. I have saved purple basil, which was a little bit different than this type of basil. This is just regular green basil, as you can see. So we're going to cut some of this. Yeah, these snips aren't that great either. So we're gonna, I don't know, they seem to be really harsh when cutting the plant. It's not like my other snips, they kind of glide through the plant. This one kind of seems to have a blunt edge on it, just like, you know. Jixie! Hello, Jixie. Oh, you saying hello? You saying hello? Okay, so we'll do two stems of the basil. So you can see it's still looking pretty fresh, but and any leaves that look like this with holes in it or anything, you just want to clip off. Don't want to save those. It's got dirt on it. We can wash it though. I'm going to get some of the salvia right here. So we've got salvia. Let's see, what else can we get? Something I don't have a lot of, which is this bee balm. I don't think it's going to flower this year, so no point in trying to save it. I was hoping it would flower, but I don't think it's going to this year, so maybe next year. So we'll get some of this bee balm. Now with your herbs, you don't want to come out here first thing in the morning when the plants are still wet and clip them off, because they're going to take too long they're going to take a lot longer to dry out. Oh no, that one had ants all over it. Why are they all over this plant? Shake them off. Get out of here, ants. Oh, it looks like a bunch of eggs. There's a bunch of eggs on that. Ugh. I don't know, can y'all see this? It's like a bunch of little, look on here. There's like a bunch of like aphid eggs or some kind of eggs. Nasty. So we're not going to get that one. And see, walnuts. This time of year, walnuts are falling out of that tree, left and right. I wonder if sedum, I've never tried to pick the sedum and dry it, so I wonder if it dries. Let's pick it. See, And there's a walnut in the sedum. Look how pretty this is, you guys. Beautiful. I'm try to dry one stem of that because it's pretty. The impatiens look like they're fizzling out. And the begonia. Okay, let's go over here to the other side of the garden and we will get some other things. Let's get some of this catnip. There's lots of it and I don't want it to just go to waste. Okay, let's get some patchouli. And I will, over the next couple days, in between now and the 23rd of September, I will be coming out here and clipping more and more things out because it is starting to stay cold at night. And I would rather get the most out of my harvest by waiting the longest I can and also harvesting at the equinox. So let's get some St. John's wort. So we don't have a lot of that dried in the house. I'll get this new growth. Dixie? Okay, for now I think that will be good. So now I'm going to go back in the house and wash these off, and I'll show you how I wash them. Because before, you'd be surprised how many things I just didn't give much thought to before recently. So what I do is I fill up this sink about halfway full with cold water. And if I have a lot of different types of herbs, I will do this I'll do it by plant. So I'll do one plant and the next one. I won't just throw it all in there together unless it's all stuff that I can easily identify and separate. Because things like yarrow, they don't separate well. They will get clumped up because of the very small foliage that's on them. So you just take your stuff. You don't want to let them just sit in there and soak. You just want to, and it's best to lay out a towel first. But you just want to kind of swish them around here. You just kind of swish them around. And then pull them up and shake off the excess. And then set them on a towel. And that you do that and let them dry completely, fully, before you put them in on your rack to dry. Otherwise, it's not going to be good. You just don't want to. You want to make sure all of the water is completely off of the plant before you stick it into your dryer. less likely for your plants to stay wet because they will not dry and they will not keep. Most importantly, you will not be able to store them for very long and keep them if they're not fully dry. They will rot, they will mold, so just be very careful of that. Now we've got this patchouli. And you want to make sure this is cold water too, so it doesn't because putting it in hot water can evaporate the essential oils in the plant. So you just want to be really careful, really gentle, kind of just rub the leaves if they've got a lot of dirt on them. Just, shake it off. And so once these are all dry, we will go put them into the dryer. Okay, I just want to show you guys what the water looks like after I get done with all. Because even though you can't see dirt on plants, this is what the water usually always looks like. Sometimes there's a lot more. So you always want to make sure to clean your plants before you put them in your either dehydrator or your dryer or your drying rack. So yeah, here's all the plants nice and clean. So I'll let these sit on a towel. I usually let them sit on the towel for a good 24 hours, depending on how much water they have. And these ones, since they're, like the basil, it's got a lot of cup leaves, and since the leaves on the everything are kind of quite large, they're holding a lot of water. So these I'll probably let sit, for 24 hours. If usually it's not that long. Sometimes it could be 12 hours or so. Or like if I go to check back tonight and all these are dry, then I'll put them in. Just as long as there's absolutely no water on them, then we'd be good. So when we get to that step, I'll be back. Okay guys, it is the next day and I am going to put my herbs into the hanger thing. So let's get the basket, make it easier to transport so we can do one by one, or type by type, not single plant. That'd just be ridiculous. But I have been known to be ridiculous. So first we'll do the St. John's wort because it is a thicker type leaf, and so I want to do this, put this at the top, because my reasoning in this is, I don't know. It just seems like a good idea. I don't know where I was going with that, you guys. I'm sorry. My train of thought has been off. But look at my teeth. I finally got them fixed. It looks so good. I'm so happy that I finally got over my fear of the dentist and just went and did it. Anyway, so St. John's wort. I'll show you. I've got the basil. This is, okay, this is basil. What is this right here? Patchouli, I think. Okay, so we'll take the St. John's wort first, which is that. This. So it's these ones right here. Oh, don't want to get the yarrow. Okay, so we'll take it. Unzip. Oh man, this has a lot of room. So once I go out in the next couple days to trim down the garden, so I can store it all for the winter and dry it and everything like that, I'll have the room, because my homemade my homemade herb dryers were getting super crowded. Oh, okay, so this is bee balm is what this is. Okay, I was trying to figure out what that was. Okay, so we'll do the patchouli next. So patchouli here. This has some flowers on it still. Very good smelling. So I'll put that in there. I actually think I might be able to fit most of them in one section, which is good. So we've got bee balm here, bee balm, bee balm. All this is bee balm, I think. No, these look different. What is this? Mint, possibly? I think it might be mint because it's got a square stem. Anyway. So today I went out and picked some yarrow and some more calendula flowers because calendula, they grow really fast and they flower profusely, but the flowers seem to die very fast. Like they will stay on the plant for maybe 1 or 2 days and then the flower dies. But if you pick it, you can dry them and you can literally keep these in a mason jar for months, up to a year, without them losing color. I mean, you can't put them in the sunlight. That's why when you're doing research about it, about herbalism and drying herbs and storing herbs, it tells you to store them in a dark, cool, dark place because the sunlight will fade the color of your plants, but also evaporate the essential oils in them. So you don't want to dry them in direct sunlight or store them in direct sunlight. So I will keep you guys updated on how this is going, how everything dries in this. Obviously, I have high hopes for it because, I mean, it's just obvious that it's going to work. It's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, I don't know if it's going to work, because it will. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you are having a great fall or start of the fall season, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.